Okay, let's see. We have a week 2 case study, and there's a data set that I'm going to do a lot of different stuff using Excel. And you're like, but I don't know how to do that. I'm here to show you. So one thing that I need to mention to you, it says part 2 to be completed in Connect, has nothing to do with this. Okay, this is just walking you through, getting you to understand. It's like an activity, and there's nothing you turn in. Okay, so it does say reference your completed Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, but I've been told that that wasn't working. So you just go through these steps. I don't even need to see this, but this is practice so you know you can answer these questions. All right, and then notice it says you only have one attempt. All right, so notice you have to open a week 2 data set. And when you open it, what's weird is students will say, but I don't understand those questions. If I go back here, where'd it go? This is kind of talking about miles per gallon, cars. Be sure you're on week 2. Okay, because that happens a lot with students, and they're like, I don't understand what they're asking me to do. And then it's going to go through and ask you all these different questions, summarize the colors of the car, each model. So the models being this option package, LX, Touring, EX, and I guess that's all. And then so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an example like what yours is like what yours is like, something like that. Okay. All right. So I kind of, reworded this stuff. So it's not based on the car. So what I have here is I have some data that shows some treadmills, and they're based on, the level, somebody that is like a beginner, just wants to walk, might use the 195. Somebody that is a little more advanced might want to use the 498, and then maybe a long distance runner, the 798. So what I want to do is I want to create a pie chart that summarizes this product, the product type. Now, you'd like to just simply highlight these, and let's just do it. You'd like to highlight this, and you're like, oh, well, this is easy. I go to Insert, I go to Pie Chart, and I don't say anything. The problem is on a pie chart, you need to summarize. And the best way to summarize is by percentages, because each piece of the pie is a percentage. So what I probably would do first is sort this data. I just click this upper corner to select all the data. I go to Data, I go to Sort, and I tell it I want to sort by the product type. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, sorting by the product type. So notice all the 195s are first. If you scroll down, you'll see the 498s, and then so on. So I want to know what percentage is 195 and so on. So I'm going to put a TM 195, a TM 498, and I don't remember what the last one was, 798. TM 798. How do you get a percentage? You get the count divided by the total. So I'm going to do the count here, and my totals are going to be the same. So if I scroll down, it shows 181, but the beginning was my headings. So there's definitely 180 of these, and I'll just copy this, type that 3 times. I want to know how many are the TM 195. Well, I can sit here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am way too lazy for that. So what I do is there is actually a count formula. Now, you have to be careful, because if you're counting numbers, you can just use count. But these aren't numbers, right? This would be a good definition of a qualitative variable. It's a category of a treadmill. So you have to use the count A, and then I highlight all the ones. So I click and drag all the ones that say 195, and I stop, and then I close my parentheses. So what that did is it counted them for me. All right, let's do the 498. So I do count A, and this is why I put them in order, right? So the 498, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Right there. And then 498. I'm clicking the mouse, and I'm just dragging it down. until I get all the 498s. I close my parentheses. So let me show you the formula. All right, now 80 plus 60, 140. So there should be 40 of these, but I would like to know if I messed anything up. So let's count all the 798s, and I'll just grab it from the bottom. Oops. And go up. Oops, there's 498 right there. And then let me just show you. I close my formula, and I get 40. So that's good that all of these added to 180. So probably what I would do is just sum. So sum formula, add these up. Whenever you want Excel, I call it the lazy key. Whenever you want Excel to do something for you, you start with an equal sign. And you can do all this stuff by clicking on the menu, but I like to program the stuff in myself. So equal sum, what do I want to sum? Those values. Now from here to do a pie chart, I need percentages, which is equal to the number in that category divided by the total. Now, if you watched my welcome intro to Excel, it talked about things called absolute references. So the absolute reference, putting the dollar sign, says if I copy this down, what's going to move? Just the 60 and the 40. I don't want the total to move. So I copy this straight down. And if I add these up, I sum, what do you think they should equal? They better equal 1, right? 100%. And then if you wanted to, you could even go up here on the menu, and there's a little percent button, and you could turn them into percentages. So now this is to the point where I can, however I want to do it. Like I said, you could do count if you wanted. I'm going to do these so by the percentage. So I highlight those. I hold the control key down to highlight my percentages. I go to insert. I go to pie. And now notice this gives me my percentages. So you can see the bigger piece, the TM798. I think it's kind of nice to go up here and click on. You have lots of different options that are kind of cool to pick the one that you like. And then, of course, you should always title this. So treadmill type. And there's my pie chart.